Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This is your boy Isaac,
And this is your boy Bryce.
and we are brothers on tennis. And folks, it's been a minute since we've talked to you, and boy, oh boy, has a lot transpired. I think they've had like 52 tournaments. I mean, Bryce, they have had a lot of like 250 tournaments. Of course, we're right in the midst and all up in the start of the Olympics, and man, it's just a lot of really, really great stuff going on, my friend. How have you been, and how are you taking in all of this tennis right now?
Great. And, and typically we go back and we review, the results of like the previous week's tournaments and, what's been going on there and who were the winners and losers and all that kind of good stuff. Like you said, they were very small tournaments. So we just say shout out to the winners.
Right, exactly.
And,
there is one person though that I got to give some mad props to, because my man is just doing the damn thing, and he's just like, you know what? Even though it is not clay season anymore, I am going to max out my clay time, and that is Casper Ruud.
Yeah. He's doing well. He's doing well. Yeah, so, if folks are interested in what happened in all those tournaments, they can go online and they can check that out and all that kind of good stuff.
That's right.
But like you said, we have the Olympics going on. And I know there was a lot of talk initially about, this person isn't there and this person isn't there. And, is it going to be a Buster tournament or whatever? Look, the draws for the Olympics are still very like 1,000 level. At least.
Right, exactly.
Type draws. And if we want, I may hurt some people's feelings when I say this, but when we really talk about a lot of the people that are not here, they really are not, like, from a ranking standpoint, they're not necessarily all big hitters anymore.
Right. Right.
I mean, their names, I mean, of course, Roger and Rafa, they stand out. Hell, Serena's ranked number 16 in the world right now.
I know, right?
I mean, she's not even top 10. So when you start talking about having the number one ranked player, the number two ranked player, these type of players, in the world, they are here.
Yep, that's right.
At the Olympics. And,
that's right.
And so it is still a very good tournament. In addition to talking about the Olympics, there are a couple of men's and women's tournaments going on this week. I think there are two men, 250s, and there are two women, 125.
I know, right? Which, yeah.
Going forward. So I guess for people that didn't make their country's Olympic squads but are still trying to make a little coin and scrape up a few points, they have some opportunities.
Exactly. Get your coins any way you need to, folks. We ain't mad at you at all. But because noticeably, man, the tournament here in Atlanta, pretty much all of the Americans seem to be in that tournament there,
right?
Except for the three or so that are actually in the Olympics, which I believe is, of course, our boy Tiafoe. Garin, not Garin, but what's his name? Giron, not Garin. Giron is out there. I don't know exactly why they allowed Tennis Sangren in, but they did. And Tommy Paul, who unfortunately met our boy Aslan Karatsev in the first round.
And that you know what? We're going to talk about that match in a few minutes. We're going to come back to that because I got some things to say about that match.
Yes, sir.
But since you're talking about Atlanta, I'm interested in your thoughts on something. So, in Atlanta, like you said, it's an American dominated tournament, which, makes sense.
Right.
But there are two surprise entries to me in this tournament, and one being Cam Norrie.
Yes.
And one being Jannik Sinner. And, my assumption was that both of these players were ranked high enough to make their country's Olympics teams.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe, did you hear if it was like a concern out of COVID or,
No, had heard really no information on either of them as to why they chose not to participate in the Olympics, but they both were, of course, ranked high enough. in their respective countries. I mean, Cam Norrie, I believe, is the top rated British player right now.
Right.
So why he chose to skip and basically come to America and do these hardcore tournaments is a bit of a mystery, but but Andy Murray and them ain't missing them though, because they trying to do their thing. But anyway, and I don't know about center. I mean, they do have a lot of Italians. I mean, the fact that Sonego's there and Massetti and what's a boy named Fognini. Our boy Matteo decided not to go, although Aya Tomjanovic is there, which is kind of curious why he wouldn't participate, but she is.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, not really sure why Sinner kind of chose not to go. It again, like you said, it's a bit of a strange decision, but I don't know. I don't know if it's just overall concerns of being in Japan, given all of the stuff that's still kind of happening with the pandemic, Delta variants, and all that other fun stuff. So I guess different people just have different perspectives. So I would imagine that kind of weighed into it as well. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are in this tournament where there are a sea of Americans that the two finalists are going to be Norrie and Sinner.
Exactly.
Those are my thoughts.
Pretty much that says it all right there.
Right?
Yeah, because I don't know that I see anybody being able to mess around with them. I mean, Nick is there, of course, but you never know what you're gonna get from Nick day in and day out. So,
well, the most exciting thing to me in this entire tournament is the doubles pairing of Kyrgios and Sock.
Right.
So we know that's a whole lot of talent and a whole lot of no discipline.
A whole lot of crazy, no discipline and crazy.
Right. So, which makes for a very dangerous team, and they're playing tonight. But so anyway, shout out to all the tennis that's going on in Atlanta, and that's one of the 250 tournaments. Yes. The other 250 tournament that's going on this week for the men is the Generali Open, which is in Austria, and that's where your boy you were just mentioning, Casper Ruud, is the top seed
once again. Yep.
Yeah, and just real quickly, some of the other seeds there are, you have RBA, you have Krajinovic, Ramos Vinolas, Debonis, Dejere, so you've got some decent, and they're on red clay, right? So you've got some decent players there.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they. It seems like the folks that have been sort of in this clay court swing, they're just sort of rotating in the draw, if you will, because the last two tournaments, it seems like they were kind of similar names. But I fully expect Casper Ruud to get yet another title under his belt. He's got 2. This would make it 3. So maximize the clay, my friend. Maximize that clay.
Yeah, and just one more, surprise is, in this tournament, I would have thought RBA would have been at the Olympics.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess maybe if, when Rafa was like, hey, I'm out, then I guess they just decided to, I don't know, send a different squad, because I do know your boy Davidovich Fokina is up in there. Yes. At least, So they got some Spaniards.
And I got something to say about that too a little bit later, Mr. Brad Gilbert. Anyway,
okay.
So just real quickly, we're going to spend 120 seconds on this. We got 2 WTA tournaments that are both 125 level. One is in Belgrade, Serbia, and basically when Blinkova is your top seed, we're going to leave it right there.
That's it.
The only other reason I'm mentioning this other one that is in Charleston here in the States is because it is the women's version of the Atlanta tournament. It is heavy with American women. Bringle, Davis, Lipchenko, Sasha Vickery. Where's she been? I hadn't heard her name in a minute. I do want to give a shout out to a result that happened today, and that is a friend of the show, Jamie Loeb, beat Whitney Osigwe today, and we know Whitney Osigwe has had some nice wins in the past year, so that was a good win for Jamie.
Absolutely. Yeah, really, really good stuff on her part. And yeah, hopefully we can see her getting in some more wins because we'd love to have her back on the show and just kind of learn more about her journey as it's moving forward. So good on you. Good on you, Jamie.
Absolutely. So, okay, we got all of that out the way, Isaac. Let's jump into the Olympics.
All right.
So we have so far. I've only seen the four draws of the men's and the women's singles and the men's and the women's doubles. Have you
Mhm.
seen a mixed doubles draw yet?
I have not, and in truth, I haven't even seen the doubles draws. I've been struggling trying to find the draws for the Olympics, which is really weird. I mean, I know that we posted it on the IG, of course, the singles for the men and the women. But
Right.
yeah, I would have thought that they would have been on like ATP Tour and or WTA. WTA has it, but in any case, no, I have not seen the mixed.
Right. And you can go to the Olympic site.
Gotcha.
And you can, you can go to and they have the draws there, but I don't think they have posted a mixed doubles draw yet.
Interesting.
But,
Yeah.
it could be kind of like it happens at the Grand Slams, right? You
Mm-hmm.
let a couple of rounds go by, people drop out, people are like, okay, let me go ahead and jump into mixed doubles.
Exactly. Let me see
Eh,
if I can get a pairing and see if we can't still get some gold.
right, get that going. So, but anyway, so from what we have, we've been watching the tennis every night. And I don't know where you want to go. You want to start with the men's draw or the women's draw?
Um, I'm okay either way. Whichever one you want to start off with.
Let's go ahead and start with the women's draw,
All
right?
right. Very good. Very good.
So, this was an interesting draw here, right? And,
Hmm.
our top seeds we had were, Ash Barty was number one, Naomi Osaka was number two, Sabalenka, number three, number four we had was, who was the number four seed?
Mm,
Oh, I can't find it on the draw. It must have been somebody that pulled out. But just other seeds that we have in there, were Kvitova, Muguruza, the good Pliskova, Jen
mhm.
Brady, Sakari, Svitolina, Swiatek, Elise Mertens, Kiki Burtons, Pavlyuchenkova, Bencic, uh, uh, Krasikova. Um, you know, Once again, like I said, although you're missing some names, like the Williams sisters and Halep and that kind of deal,
Mhm.
this is as strong as any 1,000 level tournament, you know,
Absolutely.
you'll see.
That's right.
And we didn't get out the first round before we lost the top seed.
I know, right? That was a bit of a surprise. I did not expect for Barty to go out to Saras Ribes Tormo. But I tell you what, I, after thinking about all of the different things in play, I understand why she lost. I definitely understand why she lost. I mean, first of all, Ceribes Tormo is, she is fit. She is fit. She ain't
Mm-hmm.
afraid to go
Right?
as long as necessary
Mm-hmm.
in order to get a W. And she will stay out there until the lights go out. And for it to be the conditions there, as many have heard, it's very hot in Tokyo right now, and it's humid. A couple of the players have been really griping about not even playing during the windows that they have things scheduled. Um, and I think because of all of that, and the fact that she had played the day before, played doubles with her partner, and they did get a victory, I think she may not have understood and or underestimated how much that would take out of her. So she came out on the court flat. And the last person you want to go out on the court flat with is Sarah Ceribes Tormo because, again, she gets balls back. She plays with a lot of topspin and the court surface, Bryce. It's apparently allowing for a lot of high bouncing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Sarah Ceribes Tormo was like, okay, great. I'm going to hit some heavy topspin forehands to your already delicate backhand. And we're going to see what you're going to do with it.
Right.
And unfortunately, it just was an equation not it was not good for Barty. And so again, while it was surprising when it was going on, after it happened, after I kind of had a chance to kind of reevaluate, I was like, this result actually makes sense. But what were your thoughts on the match, bro?
When I was watching the match, I was feeling kind of the way the commentators were feeling. You could just see that there was an energy level difference there with Barty.
Mm-hmm.
This was not the Barty that we had just seen in the finals of Wimbledon. And I forgot who was saying it, but whether it's the fact that, she went to the Bahamas after, Wimbledon, and whether she was playing 18 holes of golf every day and she was getting her chillax on.
Right.
And she just wasn't, But you know what? The thing that I have got to give Ash Barty, number one, after that loss, which, she couldn't have felt great after that loss. She went and she did the interviews with the press right there on the spot. And you could just see in her attitude, she was like, you know what? Wasn't my day. She played well. I didn't get the job done. Hey, I'm still in the doubles and I'm still trying to go for a medal. Just her attitude is just, once again, I'll say this over and over again. If you do not like Ash Barty, I do not understand why.
Exactly. There's no reason why you shouldn't. She, to me, is top notch professional.
Right. And so she just won Wimbledon. She ain't got nothing to hang her head about,
Right.
So she was good. So, shout out to you, Ash Barty, and good luck to you in the doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Now somebody else who didn't make it out of the first round in terms of, as we're looking at our seeded players,
right,
was Jen Brady.
Right.
And we already had concerns about her health coming into the Olympics, and somebody you don't want to play when your health is on question is Miss Stabalot, and that is Camila Giorgi.
Exactly. Say it, and say it again. Don't do it.
No, and Giorgi cut her up one side and down the other. And that was all she wrote. I think it was like 3-2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was like, you don't want none of this, sister. You don't want none of this. Yeah, she sliced and diced her up pretty good, Bryce. That was like, whoo. That was rough. But again, Giorgi has that type of a game, man. You gotta make sure you own when you get with her, because if she's on a good one, you better watch out, because she can hit the ball.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
And back to what you were saying before, based upon what the conditions of the court surface is at the Olympics, I think it plays in well to her style of play.
Exactly. And to be clear, she ain't just beating folks. She's clowning folks. I mean, she gave Jen Brady a Hope biscuit, and then the next match against Vesnina, she gave her a breadstick.
Yeah, she's like, get your old ass out of here.
Right? I ain't messing with you. Now, it'll be interesting what she does against the good Pliskova, though. That will be interesting.
Right, because you know what? I was talking to my mom earlier. I do think that Pliskova is playing with some renewed confidence based upon that Wimbledon final.
Agreed.
So that is, I think, going to be a very, very good match. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
But continuing with the other two seeds that didn't make it out of the first round, because honestly, 4 seeds didn't make it out of the first round, but pretty much the seeds have been to form.
Yeah.
Pretty much outside of that. Elise Mertens lost to Alexandrova, and, it's so funny because that's one of those matches that if I ain't got my glasses on, I can't tell one of them from the other. So it was,
Exactly, right?
I knew that could go either way, so... Shout out to Alexandrova. I mean, she couldn't get past the Ponderosa in the next round anyway.
Right. Ponderosa was like, see ya. And then Ponderosa about to say goodbye. But anyway, we'll talk about that
one. Right. And then Kiki Burton. I think they're saying this is her last tournament.
Farewell match. That's right.
So Vondrousova was like, bye.
Yeah, I know. Vahala. Nice to meet you.
Right.
Gone. Yeah, that was kind of sad, but yeah, hopefully Kiki is off to some better things and a new chapter. So I've always kind of liked Kiki Burton's,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and so sad, but at the same time, real happy that she's moving on. To do some other things that she wants. So that's a good thing.
Well, and speaking of just women's tennis as a whole, or let's broaden it more than that, tennis as
Mm-hmm.
a whole, to me, so far, the moment of the entire Olympics as it relates to tennis was at the opening ceremony.
Oh,
When
come
we
on.
had, because it was funny because when Japan came out in the parade of the champions, right, of the
Mm-hmm.
athletes, and
Yes.
I was kind of expecting for Osaka to be the flag bearer, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
And when it wasn't her, I was like, okay, I think she's on schedule to play tomorrow, so she's probably not even there. And so then I wasn't even thinking about the whole like leading up to like the cauldron, right?
Right.
So when I saw that they were passing it on, I said, "Ooh, let Osaka be the last one." And when Osaka came up with the sister girl box
With the
braids in,
right. Come on now. Come
and
on
was
now.
there, I got goosebumps, man.
Bruh, you can't, you and me both. I couldn't even put it into words how the feels I got when I saw
Mm-hmm.
her. And I was just sitting there like, see, this is what's up. This is
Right.
right here is what's up. My girl had her Felicia braids on. Like, what? You better step off me. My braids are tight and I'm here.
I got a headache. They so tight.
Boy, come on now, Bryce. Man, it did. It's like you said, it's funny how you and I just vibe the same way because it gave me chills. It
Right.
literally, when I saw her, I was just like, hell no. Are you serious? And I
Yes.
just the biggest smile was on my face during that entire process. And just how she strutted up to the top of it. And I was just like, that's just a beautiful thing right there, bro. I was elated. Absolutely elated.
Absolutely. And the other thing that I'll say is what an honor it was, especially coming off the last couple of months she's had, right?
Right,
That was
right.
huge for her personally, I'm sure. That was
Yes.
huge for the country, I'm
Yes.
sure. It was also huge for women's tennis.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Exactly.
it was huge in terms of, I think they said it had only been once or twice ever before that a current athlete
Mm.
was someone who lit the cauldron, right?
Right.
And
Right.
then there had never been anyone from the sport of tennis
Right. Exactly.
to light it
Exactly.
before. So it was history making. It
Exactly.
was huge. So I was so proud of her, and just I think it made me think back to the U.S. Open, like when she was wearing the mask.
Yep.
She is going to win this gold.
Yep.
Because I think when she gets in these situations where she feels like she's playing for more than herself,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
she's on a different level.
She's on a different level.
And Isaac, I know you have watched her first two matches.
Yes. Yes. Extremely impressed. I mean, mind you, folks, Naomi Osaka has been out of the game for months now. And to come back and put it on Zhang Sai Sai, give her some bread, and then get Goya bitch and be like, lit. Here's this whole biscuit for you.
Right.
Bryce, I'm trying to tell you, bro, it's going to take a Herculean effort to beat
Right.
Naomi Osaka. Because
Mm-hmm.
like you said, when she has a purpose, man, it's hard for me to see any of these ladies stopping her. It really, really, it might have been all right for Barty to go on ahead and go out, and that might be why Sabalenka went out too.
They see the writing on the wall,
They
right?
see the writing on the wall, bro. Man, listen, I'm absolutely putting my coins behind Naomi Osaka to win gold.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And just, since we're talking about Osaka, I know, Isaac, you and I talked about it earlier today.
yeah.
I got an opportunity to watch her limited series on Netflix this weekend.
Yes, yes.
And, I'm going to give kind of two sides to the series.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, I would say for people that really don't understand Naomi's plight and the situation of being the top tennis player in the world and everything that they go through and kind of her personality and all that. I think it's really good for those people to watch because it gives you great insight on how she is, why she is the way she is. And it also, you really get to see just what a quality person she and her family, they appear to be. So I would highly recommend for people to go watch it. The flip side of it for me, though, was somebody like me and probably somebody like you who we probably know. We feel like we know Osaka and her situation pretty well.
Right.
I don't feel like I learned a whole lot. Like, I feel like everything that was shown in those 3 episodes, I kind of already knew. And also the way that it was shot, it seemed like it had been shot clearly over years. A lot of hand camera footage and all that. I mean, maybe that was done for effect. I would have liked to have seen something a little bigger budget version of that.
Right.
But I will tell you the thing that I did get out of it that I absolutely loved. I have not seen a lot of footage of her father talking and speaking about how they came up and the role that he played. And her father is awesome. And I think he just stays out of the spotlight, but he is very well spoken, and he is. I mean, you can't really compare anybody to Richard Williams because Richard's probably a once in a lifetime type guy, right? But he is. I was so impressed with Osaka's father, and it made me understand where probably some of her strength comes from. I love seeing how close their family is. I love seeing how close she is to her sister. I loved how loving her mother is and supportive her mother is. So for me, what I got out of it more than anything was I loved seeing the family structure side of it and getting to know some of them and the dynamics between her and her sister. And I even liked the way they had her boyfriend Corday in it. They had him in there, but he didn't dominate it, right?
Okay, that's good.
They had him in the appropriate amount of space that he should have been in there. So anyway, I just wanted to take a few minutes to the listeners. Like, if you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend you go watch it. It definitely gives you some insight on her and her situation. And then I think like either that night or the next night, she had a match, this last match she played. And so I was even more engaged in watching her, play this match. So shout out to Osaka and her quest for this gold medal in her home country.
Absolutely, man. I'm so excited about it. I definitely am going to watch that Netflix docuseries. Or I don't know if it's a docuseries or not, but I will be watching it once I can get past all of the Olympics as a whole. Because man, I can't even get enough in, and I am an Olympics. Oh my goodness, I just love it all.
Right.
So I'm trying to absorb as much as I can, but I will definitely be looking at that once it's over for sure.
So Isaac, before we jump off of the ladies, based upon where we're at in the tournament, and all the ladies are in the 3rd round now, based upon who's left, who do you think are the medal contenders? We clearly have said Osaka is one. Who are 2 of the others? You would
definitely believing that she is going to get it done. Let me see here. I tell you what, who continues to be on a bit of a run. And I'm looking at the top section there is that Krejcikova. I mean, I just feel like she is just got a lot of really good, strong momentum right now. So I feel like she is going to somehow or another be in the mix, even though there's a potential. I mean, she's playing Bencic, and then she'll potentially have to play Pavlyuchenkova. But I give her the nod in those matches. I think it may be tough if it gets to the semi and she has to play like a Rybakina or a Muguruza. And that's if they make it. So, so anyway, sorry for the long speech. I'm looking at Krejcikova potentially being in there in the mix. I think Osaka will be in there. And if I had to throw somebody else in there. And as much as, like I said, I never really give her much credit, but I'm gonna try and give her a little credit right now, and that's Pliskova. I really
Mm-hmm.
feel like what you said. I think she is going to. She's on a good run, and I think she's feeling good about her tennis. I think Sasha finally has her in a good space. She will take that L to Osaka in the semi, but I think that puts her then in the bronze match, right? Because the four semifinalists have a chance
Right.
to, yeah.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I would see her against Osaka winning that match, and I would see her battle for the bronze and potentially getting that bronze medal.
I am with you on the first. I potentially see an Osaka Krashikova
Mm-hmm.
battle for the gold and the silver.
Mm-hmm.
I think who may have the strongest hit for the bronze though is Muguruza.
Yeah, yeah.
Muguruza is looking good. I think she's okay with the back now.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. I think I could see her potentially playing good Pliskova, for the bronze, but my vote would be on Muguruza
Gotcha.
in
Gotcha.
that match. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
That's if she
yeah,
get bashed for Bakina though, because I tell you what, that Riley Keena as they call her, I still call her Rabakina.
right.
But she's been on both of our radars for a long
Right.
time, and I feel like she too is finding her game again. So I wouldn't count her out. That to me, that battle potential
Mm-hmm.
between her and Muguruza, that one's gonna be a lights out match right there.
I agree with you. I agree with
Yeah.
you. And I think if Rabakina pulls it out, at that point, I maybe would give the edge to Pliskova.
Right. Right. Yep.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so
I see what you're saying, brother.
well, let's keep it moving. Let's take it over to the men's draw, and
Mm-hmm.
we have, the men have been pretty much coming through.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's Friday, so I'm gonna keep
Right.
it black.
Right.
But I'm
Oh,
gonna keep it brief.
sorry about that. That's on me.
I done educated myself.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to turn something off here. Sorry, it just popped up.
That's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump to the first seed
Okay.
that didn't make it out of the first round, and I think we kind of thought that this might happen, but hometown boy Nishikori didn't
Right.
waste no time with Rublev.
Right? No. He was like, look, son, we are in Tokyo, Japan. This is my
Right.
backyard. This is not yours. So I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss you and keep things moving. So that was a surprise, though. I have to say, Bryce.
Right. But was very happy for Kay.
Yes, very much
Very,
so.
very happy for him because I think that matchup tonight against him and Jerome,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be nice. Now I expect for Kay to pull it out, but
Yes.
Jerome is he's shown to be a battler.
He is, man. I have to say he's done a lot better than I expected him to do because I didn't expect him to get out the first. I didn't expect any American to get out the first round, to be honest with you.
Well, they barely did, men
Yeah,
or women.
two of the four, so that was kind of nice.
Mm.
But yeah, I did not actually have Giron getting past Gombos, but yeah, he did the thing. But yeah, I think K might have some things for him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Now the other one, I'm gonna let you talk about this one. He was supposed to be in the first round matchup that we were most hyped to see. It was going
Yes,
to be Andy
Andy
Murray
Murray. Yep.
against FAA. And
Yes.
so Andy Murray was like, you know what? I am not going to have this dude running me and my vibranium hips all around these courts
Right.
with these high bouncing balls.
We done
So
already done this.
so I'm going to go ahead and sit down. And not Mel, I'm jumping back to somebody who played in the 80s. Max Purcell,
Yes.
lucky loser, gets in and said, I ain't scared of you.
Ain't scared of you at all, dude. And he just, in my opinion, he played the right type of game against Felix because he knows that at this stage in the game, Felix is all about if I don't, if I'm not getting through with my A game, I'm just going to hit harder.
Right.
And Purcell was like, I can take all of this pace that you're giving me and I can redirect it just back at you nice and flat. And honestly, Felix's game just looked a bit off on the day. A lot of shank forehands. That backhand that looked good on the grass, whoo, it just looked wrong, man. It looked wrong. I was just like, ooh, it don't even look like you know how to direct that backhand. It looked like he was literally just trying to get it back into play. And I know that you're gonna talk about me. And I recognize this, but I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there. I tend to look at a lot of folks' games, and I'm now kind of looking at Djokovic's game, and his game is very simple. He hits a very simple forehand, a very simple backhand. It's just clean and it's very precise. And when I look at Felix's game, he got that whippy forehand. He got that backhand that it don't look right. It's not even a shovel backhand. I'm still trying to understand like how he's holding his racket and how he's following through. It just looks like it's too much. It just looks like it's extra. And I just feel like that extra-ness is really what's getting in his way, because the minute that any form of nerves come into play, he starts shanking. And he looked bad in that match because, again, he was trying to out-hit Purcell. And Purcell was like, I can take this all day. I'm just going to redirect it. I'm just going to slide it right on back. He was playing that Leighton Hewitt tennis. You can try and throw all the power you want at me. I'm going to take it right back at you and take it on the rise. And it was just very disappointing in my eyes that he didn't see that and try to do some level of adjustment. I'm just very concerned about Felix. And I know he's 20, and I know we try and give him breaks because he's been in 8 finals and still hasn't won one yet. And I still believe, yes, he eventually will win one. But for me, I'm beginning to wonder, though, are you really setting yourself up to be a Grand Slam champion?
Okay, is it my turn?
It is your turn, bro. Jump on in here because I got so much I can say about that one. Go on ahead, bro.
All I'm going to say is when I was watching that match, and I don't want this because I like Felix and I want Felix to do well and all that.
Yes.
But this was the first time I watched Felix and started to feel like, is he the male version of Madison Keys? Because once again, it's somebody who has all the physical things that you think that you need to regulate. All of them. And it's something that is missing from pulling them all together to be a champion.
Right.
And I was so glad. I was wondering what the record was, and I guess they were saying it was
Benito.
Benito. 10 finals.
Right.
Felix is at 8.
He's at 8, but he's 20.
He is 20. But what I'm saying is, the longer it goes, the more mental it would be. And the thing that I would do if I was Uncle Tony, and I know Uncle Tony ain't trying to get no advice from me, I would have Felix go play the Madagascar Open.
Yep. See?
That is played down there on sand. And win him a title. Just get something.
But you know what though, Bryce?
Get it off your back.
Here's the risk of that. Say for instance, he does go and play on them rocks. And what if he get into a final with somebody ranked 200 and he still take that L?
Then you know what? At that point, it is truly on him.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Remember what I said when we heard the announcement that Uncle Tony.
Can you hear me?
Was working. Yeah.
Sorry.
When we first heard that Uncle Tony was going to be working with FAA, I said the part that he's missing is the part that Uncle Tony can bring. Yes. And if he does not get it done under Uncle Tony, he ain't got it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I at least feel like with Felix, though, the desire to win and be a champion is there. I question that with Madison. I feel like Madison very much is like a Tiafoe. She's just happy to be there. And I just, it just seems like she's very dismissive and that she really doesn't have that hunger of a Grand Slam champion. I at least see that in Felix, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Yeah, I see he hungry. But, you know, so anyway, so Felix is out.
Yeah,
right?
he gone. Bye.
But once again, other than that, the Seeds kind of made it through like they were supposed to. Now, I'm going to tell you, speaking of the American men, who looked good was Tiafoe.
He did.
He looked really good, but of course his test is tonight.
It's tonight because but see, the thing is, he gears up for the big matches. So I feel like he will come into this one with the right mindset and with the right perspective. And I actually think he's going to upset Tsitsipas again.
I wouldn't doubt it. If he plays the way he played his first round, I would expect it. But then he might in the next round get skull plucked by Humbert.
Like a Humbert, exactly. Right. Humbert might be like, bring that on here. I got all this leftiness for you.
Exactly. So okay. Now let's talk about who we think will medal out of here.
Yes.
And just real quick, shout out to my 2 JV team members, Davidovich Fokina and Dominique Kupfer. I don't know how much further they gonna go, but shout out to them for getting those first couple of rounds in.
That's
but yeah, who do you think's gonna medal here?
So Djokovic will take the medal. For me, I just saw him yesterday against Struff. And Struff was so excited, and he got out there, was just on his tippy toes, and he was trying to do this new plan. And Djokovic was like, yeah, whatever. Go on ahead, do what you got to do. And then come 4-5, he just did a Djokovic. He said, okay, I know exactly what I need to do here. I'm going to break you. I'm going to hold for the first set, and then I'm going to break you again just to break your spirit. Right. And after that, it was over. It was literally, and once I saw that happen, I was like, this match is over. Because that, to me, is how Djokovic plays now. He does not get stressed and or pressed. You might think you're doing something big time, because I was looking at Struff, and Struff was playing some good ball the first 8 games or the first 9 games. Right. But then it got to, again, him trying to hold serve to stay in the set. And here come Djokovic doing Djokovic things. And for me, I just don't know that I see anybody getting in his way, even if it is best 2 out of 3. I think he's going to adapt his mindset, and he's going to play his best tennis against the people that are in front of him. And I feel like he will take the gold.
I agree with you. My hopes lie on 2 Russians. I don't know if you saw that match between Karatsev and Tommy Paul.
I saw highlights of it, and yes, it looked like Aslan might be back.
Aslan is like, I am so glad to be off of that damn grass. Let me remind y'all.
Yes.
When I do on hardcore, look, that was just straight disrespectful what he did with Tommy Paul.
It really was.
I mean, he was like, now, Tommy Paul, you are not Olympic material. We understand because John Isner didn't come and Taylor Fritz didn't come. You got the honor of getting on the squad, but you're not Olympic squad material.
No, friend. Sorry.
He treated him like a child.
He really did. It looked like it was different weight classes, bro. It really did.
And my thing is, one of the few ways you can beat Djokovic is you were on your A game and you literally hit him off the court.
Right.
Karatsev is one of the few players that possesses the ability to do that. Now, granted, we know both sides of Karatsev. Karatsev can hit you off the court and he can hit himself off the court too.
Exactly.
So let's be real clear.
Let's be clear.
But he already has the confidence of having beaten Novak in his backyard. A couple of months ago. So he ain't going to be scared of Djokovic. And also the way that these courts are playing. So I'm not saying, I'm not out here putting my mortgage on Karatsev beating Djokovic, but he is my hope in the top half of the draw. Right. Of somebody that could do it.
Right. And Bryce, and just to add a little bit extra on there as well, like you said, he's already beaten him. I think that's the one person in that top half that Djokovic does not want to play, because Karatsev loves to play the spoiler. He really, really does. Mm-hmm. And you saw that when he beat Djokovic in his backyard. He got that smirk on his face for a reason, y'all. Let me just let you know. That smirk is there for a reason, because he likes playing the foil. And if he gets a hold of Djokovic, that is going to be an explosive match. And I honestly give him a very, very good shot to win it, because again, he to me is the one up on top that would be in Djokovic's mental. I really don't see anybody else up on the top side. Maybe Zverev, but even Zverev, Zverev love him and all this other wonderful stuff. Yeah. I think Karatsev is the one that he is most fearful of in that top half. Yeah.
And my second hope is if he gets past Karatsev, that he meets Medvedev in the final.
Yeah, he'll have to, because he's the only other one that he'll be able to potentially do something against Djokovic.
Right. And hopefully, you hope that there's hopefully some of this kind of team action going on, that maybe even Karatsev takes a little bit out of Djokovic.
Wear him down.
Yeah. As much as you can in a best of 3-set match. Right. And so, like I said, so my hopes are completely with Team Russia. The ROC.
The ROC, which is odd. That threw me. Anyway, go ahead.
So you might as well call them Russia. It's acting the same way. Right. But that's my only hope. And honestly, those are my medal people. Yeah, Djokovic, Karatsev, and Medvedev.
I agree with you 100%. Those are my medalists as well. Yep.
So now, of course, we have doubles going on, and Isaac, let's just talk. Okay, we've been talking all year about the number one doubles team by far. I mean, there's not. I don't even know who's considered number two, but it's just a real shame to me that the Rona took out Mektic and Pavic from the French Open, because we could also be potentially looking at them going for a Golden Slam.
Absolutely agree, man.
This year,
yes.
But we hope people saw that match last night that they played against Musetti and Sonego.
Mm-hmm. Tremendous Excellent. Match. Yes.
And shout out to the Italians, because on paper I thought, okay, they're going to get drove.
Right? They're going to get drove.
They brought the ground strokes, but I'm telling you what, Mektic and Pavic were like, we got hands.
Yes, exactly. We got hands and we know how to use them. And not like Basilashvili or Zverev. We got them good hands.
Exactly. I mean, Mektic, like they said, is he a magician after that?
I tell you what, might as well be, bruh. I mean, just incredible hands, man. Those both of them are just silly good.
So I don't really know who's going to get the bronze and the silver in men's double, but shout out to the gold medal winners, Mektic and Pavic.
Exactly. Much. That's it right there, bro.
Who do you think is taking it in women's doubles?
Oh man, that's a really, really good question. I have not really named anybody, if I'm being honest with you. Hey, who are you looking at?
Krejcikova and Siniakova.
Yeah. I mean that's definitely the more likely shell. She may do another double.
Right.
She might be like, ooh, this is the French all over. I like this. I like these feels. Right?
Yeah. I think they, if they don't win the gold, I think they definitely medal. They're just, once again, they're not at Mektic Pavic level, but they're really representing on the women's side of things for doubles.
They sure are, because they sure are putting some things on folks too. So, yeah, we'll see what Badosa and Sorribes Tormo has for him in the next round.
Right, they're gonna be like, we not Ash Barty. We not Ash Barty.
We are not Ash Barty.
It's not going down like that. So, Isaac, we've only got a few minutes left, and I know we want to encourage people to go out there, watch the Olympics. We're going to be here. Actually, I think the way the schedule is, by next Monday, they should be done, right?
Yes, correct. Correct.
So next week, join us and we should be able to talk about the results and all that. But we have some other news that we want to share with you. And that is that Brothers on Tennis, we have a partnership with City Taste of Tennis to work with them on their lead-up events to this year's U.S. Open. And the really cool thing is, if you're not familiar with City Taste of Tennis, go back. We did an interview with their president, CEO of AYS Sports, and the coordinator of the city events. I think we did the interview in December of last year.
Yeah, I think it was around that time. Yeah. Exactly.
Go back and listen to that interview. Hear what City Taste of Tennis is all about. If you are familiar with them, then you know what a really big deal this is for us. And they're doing something completely different this year. Completely different than they've ever done before, and we're so excited to be working with them. And just when we were getting on to record this podcast, we got word that Wednesday night, we will be having an interview with Penny Lerner again for her to break the news, an exclusive on exactly what City Taste of Tennis is doing leading up to the U.S. Open and the role that Brothers on Tennis will have in those various events. Isaac, what are you thinking about this year?
Yeah, man, I'm just very, very excited, like you are, like the brand Brothers on Tennis. I mean, for us to be able to partner up with City and with Penny is just really awesome. And just looking forward to the collaboration, looking forward to the events, looking forward to all of the fun things that will come in regards to this partnership here. So really excited, bro.
Right. So look for the interview to post online this week, and you will start seeing social media promotions from us about these various events. And I'm telling you, if you can attend some of them in person, please do. If you can't, we're going to try to keep you up to speed with everything that's going on online. Just like Isaac said, really honored and excited to be partnering with City and the Taste of Tennis folks for this 2021 lead up to the U.S. Open. So, Isaac, any final words from you before we head over to IG Live for our after show?
No, we're going to get the after party started, and there's still a lot of tennis to talk about, a lot of topics that we didn't touch upon. So, check us out on IG as well. The after show will be popping.
Yeah. So once again, we thank all of you for listening. Make sure you jump out to our website. We have merchandise out there. We have all of our episodes out there. Get yourself excited. The hardcourt season has begun, and there's a lot of great tennis that's coming down your way. So on behalf of the podcast, this has been your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. Everyone, enjoy the Olympics and go USA.